Throughout One Piece, Luffy asks a lot of people to join his crew. Some of them say yes, others turn him down, and most fans never really think twice about it. But there's a much more interesting question hiding under all of that. What if everyone Luffy ever invited actually accepted? What if the Straw Hats weren't just a small group that slowly grew over time, but a massive stacked crew right from the very beginning? And more importantly, how much would that change the entire story? To answer that, we have to go all the way back to Luffy's childhood. Their first major obstacle is still the whirlpool. They still don't have a navigator, and just like before, they panic and hide in barrels, hoping things work out. The difference this time is simple. Instead of one barrel, there are three. When Alvida's crew pulls them aboard, the fight is over almost instantly. Luffy, Ace, and Sabo jump out, destroy the crew, and leave Kobe completely stunned. For the first time, Kobe sees what real pirates can be. At Shellstown, the crew splits up to handle different goals. Ace gathers information, Sabo handles supplies, and Luffy focuses on helping Kobe join the Marines. That's when Luffy meets Zoro. Zoro's introduction plays out much the same. His strength, his pride, and his refusal to submit all stand out immediately. Luffy frees him and invites him to join without hesitation. Ace and Sabo aren't thrilled about recruiting strangers, but they already know there's no changing Luffy's mind. With Zoro on board, the crew moves forward. After leaving Shellstown, everything starts to click. The Straw Hats finally feel like a real crew, and that confidence carries them straight into Orangetown. Buggy still puts on his usual performance, but against this lineup, the fight never gets serious. Buggy is defeated quickly, and Nami joins the crew far earlier than she originally planned. With a navigator secured, the crew prepares to head toward Syrup Village. Before they get there, though, they make an unexpected stop at the Island of Rare Animals. Most pirates would ignore a place like this, but Luffy doesn't. There, they meet Gaimon. After hearing his story, Luffy smiles and does what he always does. He asks him to join the crew. Surprisingly, Gaimon agrees, making the already strange crew even stranger. At Syrup Village, Usopp joins after the events play out, similarly to the original story. Ace and Sabo are skeptical again, but the crew continues to grow. Eventually, food becomes the next major problem. Too many mouths and not enough supplies make one thing clear. They need a cook. That leads them to the Barati. This time, Luffy doesn't just ask Sanji, he asks Zeph first. Zeph refuses at first, but when pirates attack the restaurant, Ace and Sabo help end the fight before it spirals out of control. Zoro still challenges Mihawk and still loses, but his resolve leaves a deep impression. Zeph sees something special in this crew and accepts Luffy's offer. Sanji joins soon after, determined to chase the All Blue alongside two of the best cooks in the East Blue. From there, the crew heads straight to Arlong Park. With this much strength, the fight doesn't drag on. Arlong is defeated quickly, Nami breaks down, and she officially joins without hesitation. Logetown comes and goes. Smoker gives chase, and Dragon helps them escape. Zeph guides the ship through Reverse Mountain, and Laboon is met just like before. Crocus is invited to join, and this time, he actually accepts. By the time they reach the Grand Line, the Straw Hats are no longer just rookies. They're already a serious force. Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Drum Island all happen faster. Nami still gets sick, and Drum Island still matters. But this time, both Chopper and Dr. Kuriha join the crew. With multiple doctors on board, the crew becomes even more prepared for what's ahead. When they reach Alabasta, Crocodile's tricks don't work. Crocus explains how Logia powers function, water is used, and Crocodile falls quickly. Robin joins soon after, and Vivi gifts the crew a much larger ship before deciding to sail with them herself. Skipia still happens, Enel still falls. But with Crocus already known by the locals, the journey is smoother and trust comes faster. As the crew continues forward, everything eventually leads them to Water 7, and this is where the story takes a much darker turn. Up until this point, most of their problems could be solved with strength alone. In Water 7, that changes. Robin disappears without explanation. CP9 reveals themselves, and for the first time, the Straw Hats are forced to face an enemy they can't simply overpower. Even with Ace and Sabo fighting beside them, they still lose their first clash, making it clear that raw power isn't enough anymore. Thriller Bark comes next. Kuma appears, and this time, Ace steps forward instead of Zoro and takes all of Luffy's pain. The next morning, nothing happened. Sabaody still tears the crew apart, but not completely. Some members stay behind while others are sent away. The time skip still happens, because it has to. 2 years later, the Straw Hats reunite stronger than ever. Fishman Island is resolved quickly. Jinbei becomes an ally. Punk Hazard adds even more strange members. Dressrosa ends sooner, and Doflamingo never cages the island. Finally, Wano becomes the proving ground. With Luffy, Ace, Sabo, Law, and Kid fighting together, Kaido never stands a chance. The war ends faster, and the world changes sooner than anyone expected. So would this crew be stronger than the original? Without question. But maybe strength was never the point. What truly defines the Straw Hats is Luffy's refusal to stop believing in people. Again and again, he chooses connection over caution, and that choice reshapes the entire world. If you enjoyed this alternate timeline, leave a comment and tell me which extra crew member surprised you the most. And if you want to see what the absolute strongest possible One Piece crew would look like, make sure you're subscribed, because that video is coming next.